The Enchanted Garden, a tale of renewal and transformation. Chapter 1. A Hidden World. In the heart of the English countryside, nestled within the sprawling estate of Mistlethwaite Manor, lay a secret garden. It was a place untouched by time, hidden behind towering stone walls that had stood for centuries. The garden had been abandoned and locked away for as long as anyone could remember, its key lost to the annals of history. The manor itself had fallen into disrepair, its halls echoing with the distant memories of a bygone era. Its master, Archibald Craven, was a reclusive widower who had lost his beloved wife, Lily, in a tragic accident within the garden's confines. The memory of that fateful day had haunted him, and he had sealed off the garden from the world, leaving it to wither and decay. Mary Lennox, a 10-year-old girl, arrived at Mistlethwaite Manor one bleak autumn day. She was a distant relative of Archibald Craven, orphaned by a cholera outbreak in India. Her life had been one of privilege and indulgence, with servants tending to her every need. Now, she found herself in a foreign land, surrounded by strangers. The mansion was a maze of cold stone corridors and shadowy chambers, and Mary felt like a prisoner within its walls. Her uncle, Lord Craven, was seldom seen, always away on business, leaving her in the care of the stern housekeeper, Mrs. Medlock. Mary's days were long and dreary, filled with solitude and confinement. One rainy afternoon, as Mary explored the labyrinthine mansion, she came across a portrait of a beautiful woman. It was Lady Lily Craven, her aunt, whom she had never met. The woman in the portrait had a wistful, haunting expression, and Mary could sense a profound sadness in her eyes. Intrigued by the mysterious lady, Mary inquired about her from Mrs. Medlock, who revealed the tragic story of Lady Lily's death in the secret garden. The garden was now locked, its key hidden away, and it was a place no one spoke of. Mary, however, was not one to be deterred by locked doors and forbidden mysteries. Chapter 2. The Quest for the Key. Determined to uncover the secrets of the manor and the garden, Mary embarked on a quest to find the hidden key. She began to explore every nook and cranny of the mansion, from the dimly lit attic to the dusty library. Each room held its own secrets, but none revealed the key's location. Days turned into weeks, and Mary's determination did not waver. She felt a growing connection to her late aunt, Lady Lily, and an inexplicable yearning to unlock the garden. She delved into the history of the manor, reading old diaries and letters that hinted at the garden's enchantment. One day, while searching the attic, Mary stumbled upon a dusty trunk that had belonged to Lady Lily. Inside, among old gowns and trinkets, she found a diary. It was Lady Lily's journal, filled with descriptions of the garden's beauty and the solace it had provided her. As Mary read the diary, she learned of Lady Lily's love for the garden and how it had been a sanctuary in times of sorrow. She discovered that Lady Lily had hidden the key somewhere within the mansion, a key that would unlock the garden's gate. Mary's heart raced with excitement. She was closer to her goal than ever before. Chapter 3. The Key to Enchantment. With Lady Lily's diary as her guide, Mary continued her search for the elusive key. The diary contained cryptic clues that led her on a labyrinthine treasure hunt through the manor. Each clue hinted at a different room or hidden passage, and Mary followed the trail with unwavering determination. As she ventured deeper into the mansion's secrets, Mary discovered hidden chambers and forgotten alcoves. She encountered servants who had been with the Craven family for generations, each with their own tales of Lady Lily's kindness and the garden's enchantment. One chilly evening, Mary entered the long-neglected library, its shelves lined with dusty tomes. She had grown fond of this room, with its towering bookcases and dim lighting. It was here that she discovered a hidden compartment within the fireplace. Inside, she found a small, ornate box, its lid adorned with an intricate rose motif. With trembling hands, Mary opened the box to reveal a single, ornate key, its handle carved in the shape of an ivory rose. It gleamed in the dim light of the library, and Mary knew that this was the key to the secret garden. Her heart swelled with a mixture of triumph and anticipation. The next morning, a sense of purpose burned within Mary. She could not wait any longer. She had to unlock the garden and see what lay behind its ivy-covered walls. She carefully stowed the key in her pocket, her heart pounding with excitement, and ventured outside, past the desolate and overgrown garden, until she stood before the locked gate. Chapter 4. The Garden Awakens. With a steady hand, Mary inserted the key into the rusty lock and turned it. The gate creaked open, revealing a world that seemed to have been frozen in time. The garden stretched out before her, a wild and enchanting place, filled with vibrant flowers, towering trees, and a sense of magic that hung in the air. As Mary stepped into the garden, she felt a surge of joy and wonder that she had never experienced before. It was as if the very air was alive with whispers of enchantment. She explored every corner of the garden, discovering hidden alcoves and forgotten pathways. The garden had become her own secret kingdom, and she was its queen. Days turned into weeks as Mary dedicated herself to the garden's revival. She trimmed overgrown bushes, tended to neglected flower beds, and coaxed the dormant plants back to life. The garden responded to her care, its colors growing brighter and its fragrance sweeter with each passing day. As Mary worked, she felt a deep connection to the garden, as if it held the answers to her own sense of loss and loneliness. The garden became her confidant, a place where she could pour out her thoughts and dreams to the rustling leaves and singing birds. Chapter 5. The Meeting. One sunny afternoon, as Mary was tending to a bed of roses, she heard a rustling in the bushes nearby. Startled, she looked up and saw a pair of curious eyes peering at her through the foliage. It was a young boy, about her age, with a shock of unruly hair and a frail, ethereal appearance. Mary's heart skipped a beat as she regarded the boy, who seemed equally surprised by her presence. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice trembling. The boy hesitated for a moment before replying, "I am Colin Craven, the master of Mistlethwaite Manor." Mary was taken aback. She had heard whispers of Colin's existence, but he had always been described as an invalid, confined to his room and never seen by anyone. She had never imagined that she would meet him in the garden. Colin seemed equally surprised to encounter Mary. "I didn't know anyone else knew about this garden," he admitted. Mary's curiosity got the better of her, and she approached Colin cautiously. "I found the key to the garden," she confessed. "I've been coming here every day, trying to bring it back to life." Colin's eyes brightened with interest. "You unlocked the garden? That's incredible. I've always been curious about it, but my father never allowed me to enter." He said it was a place of sadness. Mary nodded, understanding the sentiment. It was a place of sadness once, but now it's filled with life and beauty. You should come in and see for yourself. With Mary's encouragement, Colin tentatively ventured into the garden. It was the first time he had been outside in years, away from the confines of his sickbed. He marveled at the vibrant colors, the sweet scents, and the sense of freedom that surrounded him. Chapter 6: A Journey of Healing. As the days turned into weeks, Mary and Colin's friendship deepened. They became inseparable companions, exploring every corner of the garden together. Colin's fragile constitution seemed to strengthen with each visit, and he began to walk without the aid of crutches. The garden's magic seemed to work wonders on him. Colin shared his own story with Mary, revealing how he had been kept hidden away from the world due to his father's fear of losing him, just as he had lost Lady Lily. He spoke of his loneliness and his yearning for the outside world. Mary, in turn, shared her own experiences, of her spoiled and indulgent upbringing in India, and how her arrival at Mistlethwaite Manor had turned her life upside down. She confided in Colin about her search for the key and her determination to bring the garden back to life. Together, they formed a bond that transcended their individual sorrows. They found solace and joy in each other's company, and the garden became a place of healing and transformation for both of them. Chapter 7: A Family Reunited. One sunny morning, as Mary and Colin sat on a stone bench, surrounded by a sea of flowers, they heard footsteps approaching. It was Lord Archibald Craven, Colin's father, who had returned from his travels. He had been away for so long that the children hardly recognized him. Lord Craven was astonished by the transformation he witnessed in his son and the garden. He had left Mistlethwaite Manor a broken man, burdened by grief and guilt. Now, he saw his son walking and laughing, and the garden that had once been a place of sorrow had come back to life. Tears welled up in Lord Craven's eyes as he embraced Colin. "My son, you have grown so strong," he whispered. Colin smiled, a genuine and radiant smile that had been absent for far too long. "It's all thanks to the garden, Father, and to Mary." Lord Craven turned to Mary, his expression filled with gratitude. "You have done something miraculous, Mary. You've brought my son back to life." With Colin's newfound strength and Lord Craven's return, the Craven family began to rebuild the bonds that had been strained for so long. They spent their days together in the garden, laughing and sharing stories. The garden, once locked away from the world, had become a place of joy, laughter, and healing. Chapter 8: A Garden Reborn. As Mary, Colin, and Lord Craven continued to nurture the garden, it flourished like never before. Flowers of every color bloomed in profusion, and the trees seemed to reach for the sky with renewed vigor. The garden's magic extended beyond its walls, filling the manor with a sense of vitality and hope. Word of the rejuvenated garden and the healing it brought to the Craven family soon reached the villagers. People from the nearby village of Thwaite began to visit, drawn by the garden's beauty and the heartwarming story of its revival. The garden, once a hidden secret, was now a place of wonder and inspiration for all who entered. Lord Craven, inspired by the transformation he had witnessed in his son and the garden, decided to open the garden to the public. He believed that the beauty and magic of the garden should be shared with the world. The villagers were welcomed with open arms, and the manor's grounds became a place of community gatherings and celebrations. Chapter 9. A Garden of Dreams. The garden's enchantment continued to deepen as the years passed. It became a place where dreams came to life, where children played among the flowers and couples strolled hand in hand along the winding pathways. Musicians and artists found inspiration in its serene landscapes, creating songs and paintings that captured the essence of the place. The garden also had a way of healing those who entered its sanctuary. People with various ailments and sorrows found solace within its green embrace. The air was filled with the soothing scent of lavender, and the gentle rustling of leaves seemed to whisper words of comfort and healing. As Mary, Colin, and Lord Craven spent their days in the garden, they found themselves growing closer as a family. The garden had become a place of shared memories and shared joys. The wounds of the past began to heal, and the Craven family became a symbol of resilience and renewal. Chapter 10. The Return of Joy. With the garden as the backdrop, Lord Craven found solace in the company of his children. He realized that he had allowed his grief to consume him, but the garden, and the both of them, had brought joy back into his life. One evening, as they sat in the garden, Colin looked up at his father with a smile. "Father, I used to think that this garden was a place of sorrow and loss, but now I see it as a place of renewal and love. Just as the garden has come back to life, so have we." Lord Craven nodded, his eyes brimming with tears. "You are right, my son. I allowed my grief to consume me, but this garden, and the both of you, have brought joy back into my life." It was a turning point for Lord Craven. He realized that he could never replace Lady Lily, but he could honor her memory by being the best father he could be to Mary and Colin. The manor, once a place of sadness, was now filled with laughter and love. Chapter 11. The Gift of the Garden. As the garden continued to thrive, it became renowned far and wide. People from distant places traveled to experience its magic. The manor that had once been shrouded in sadness now shone as a beacon of hope and renewal. The garden also had a way of giving back to those who cared for it. Whenever Mary, Colin, or Lord Craven needed strength or comfort, they would find it within the garden's embrace. It was as if the garden could sense their emotions and respond with the perfect display of colors and scents. One chilly autumn evening, Mary stood alone in the garden, gazing at the stars that glittered above. She whispered her deepest wishes to the garden, and a shooting star streaked across the sky, as if granting her every desire. Colin had a similar experience. When he wished for courage to face the challenges of life, a rare white rose bloomed in the garden, a symbol of purity and strength. Lord Craven, too, found solace in the garden. Whenever he visited, he felt a connection to Lady Lily's spirit. He would sit in a secluded corner and talk to her as if she was still there. He believed that the garden was their shared sanctuary, where their love continued to bloom. Chapter 12. A Garden Legacy. Years passed, and Mary and Colin grew into young adults. The garden had become an inseparable part of their lives, and they were determined to preserve its magic for future generations. With Lord Craven's support, they established the Lily Craven Foundation, dedicated to the preservation and restoration of gardens across England. They believed that gardens had the power to heal not only individuals but also communities and the environment. The foundation's work extended beyond the manor's garden. They funded community gardens in urban areas, where people could find respite from the hustle and bustle of city life. They also supported environmental initiatives to protect natural landscapes and promote sustainable gardening practices. The manor itself became a center for horticultural research and education. Experts from around the world came to study the unique species of plants that thrived in the garden's microclimate. The garden was a living testament to the power of nature and the human spirit. Chapter 13. The Circle of Life. As Mary, Colin, and Lord Craven aged, they continued to find solace and joy in the garden. It was a place of reflection, a reminder of the transformative power of love and nature. They often sat together in the garden, watching the seasons change and the flowers bloom. One spring morning, as they gathered in their favorite spot, Mary shared her thoughts. "You know, this garden has taught us so much about life, about the beauty of renewal and the importance of nurturing what we love. Just as we've cared for this garden, we must now think about its future." Colin nodded. "You're right, Mary. We've been blessed by this garden, and it's our responsibility to ensure that it continues to thrive for generations to come." With that, they made a decision. They would open the garden to the public in perpetuity, ensuring that it remained a place of wonder and healing for all who sought its embrace. The Lily Craven Foundation would continue to support the garden's maintenance and preservation. Chapter 14. The legacy continues. And so, the secret garden, once locked away in sorrow and neglect, had become a place of love, renewal, and enchantment, a testament to the power of nature to heal the human heart and bring a family back together. Its legacy extended far beyond the manor's walls, touching the lives of countless people. The garden continued to thrive, as did the Craven family. Mary, Colin, and Lord Craven passed on their love for the garden to the next generation. The manor remained a place of family gatherings, where stories of Lady Lily and the garden were shared with each new member of the family. The Lily Craven Foundation flourished, preserving gardens across the country and promoting the healing power of nature. Mary, Colin, and Lord Craven's vision had become a reality, and the world was a better place because of it. As the years rolled on, the garden stood as a symbol of hope, renewal, and the enduring power of love. Its enchantment continued to touch the hearts of all who entered, reminding them that even in the darkest of times, beauty and joy could be found if one had the courage to unlock the gates to their own secret garden. 15. A garden in every heart. The Craven family's story, intertwined with the secret garden's transformation, continued to inspire people far and wide. The Lily Craven Foundation's work expanded, reaching communities around the world. Gardens sprouted in urban landscapes, bringing solace to those who needed it most. The legacy of the secret garden lived on not only in the physical gardens, but also in the hearts of those who had been touched by its enchantment. People learned to nurture their own hidden gardens, to seek solace and renewal in the beauty of nature, and to unlock the gates to their own inner sanctuaries. For Mary, Colin, and Lord Craven, the garden remained a place of solace and joy, a reminder of the strength of their bond as a family. They watched as new generations of children laughed and played amidst the blooms, and they knew that their legacy was secure. And so, the secret garden, once a symbol of sorrow and neglect, had become a symbol of renewal and hope, a testament to the enduring power of love, the magic of nature, and the resilience of the human spirit.